The Desert Phantom apparently sucks. According to the top players in Chimps mode who made this tier list, it is in C-. Reason being, it's got a range issue. All of the bottom paths from tier 3 to 5 lacks the range to be good enough on extra maps where there are multiple lanes. And I wouldn't necessarily consider Mesa here an extra map. I mean, it's literally in the advanced category. However, it does fall under that premise of having 2 lanes and also not really a great map for the Desert Phantom, so I guess I'll see for myself here. If a casual Chimps player like me can pull off the Desert Phantom in a map that doesn't really work out for it, and also, geez, a 2 Desperado start barely works here, I need to be able to save up for a Dart Monkey, otherwise, can't do 2 Desperado start. Good news, thankfully, I can. There's a Dart Monkey, and we should make it to at least round 9 now. Okay, I had to drop a sniper for round 9. Having global range is really, really nice to have. But to quote the tier list, at least for the Desert Phantom, what makes it weak as well is the fact that the chain reaction satisfaction that you see only happens when small balloons are popped. So it's kind of inconsistent. If there's a lot of mobs on screen, then it won't really do the damage you might think it would do. More on that later. Let's get Etienne now. I thought about the hero choice for Desperados, and I mean, isn't range pretty good? If the issue with the bottom path is range, then Etienne giving 20% range on the shotgun attack is pretty good. Now, don't mind me, I actually repositioned Etienne because I just realized that when I buy the next couple upgrades on the Desperado, aka Wanderer, it will attack faster if there are less monkeys around it. And this also applies to the smaller shotgun attack. So even though buying Wanderer here makes the Desperado do absolutely nothing, moving Etienne over here will mean I at least save 1 less stack from, like, being lost on the Desperado. Again, you'll see once I am able to save for Enforcer, which is going to be a hard save up because the 002 Desperado sucks, like, massive balls. Save up so awkward that we're actually going to pull out the rare triple dart, and I'm not going to lie, it's actually been pretty useful. I think we actually might be able to save for Enforcer, just gotta beat this round here. I think in order to get more pawn power, I need to spawn out drones to defend the yellows, and there's the Enforcer, but ooh, it's missing a tiny sliver of range right there right now. So right now I'm only getting the shotgun attack on 1 part of the track. That's okay. We gotta just buy a 000 village for it later. But you see, there's currently 2 stacks on the Wanderer for the shotgun attack, 1 loss from the Dart Monkey. So if I want to preserve those stacks, I gotta put my village and everything else buffing it a good amount away from it. Which, mind you, is gonna be really annoying because the thing is, the more range I give this thing, the further I have to put my village away. So putting it here now might lose me the stack of the long run. So do I really care that much? Or should I just put the village in a prime position and lose 10% attack speed? These are the tough decisions we gotta make with Desperado here. I think it's gonna be too annoying to lose, like, to keep the village from being in range. Plus, I want to buff Etienne with Jungle Drum, so village it is, and we lose 1 stack, but now we have enough range to reach the other side, I think. Plus, if the village was all the way over here, then I wouldn't be able to double discount or discount as many towers. Remember, with Etienne, you don't really need 2 villages, unless you're going for a mid, in which case, oh right, no lead popping on this path, or at least unreliable. Unreliable enough that you do need an MIB. Okay, never mind. This complicates things, Len, because I'm gonna have to have 2 villages. I'm gonna lose all stacks. You know what? I think trying to not get 3 towers around Desperado is too hard, so I might just lose all those Wanderer stacks, as much as that might mildly infuriate some of you. We also can't beat 35 anymore. Well, that 3rd stack was lost really quickly, but we just need something more reliable for early game, so I think a 302 Ricochet is very cost efficient and helps us defend these pinks here. And the more that I think about it, low-key, giving enough range to reach that top side might actually nerf Desperado, because the way it's seeing its range, its shotgun shoots out this way, which hits no balloons on the way around. Okay, sadly, the mob comes up from the wrong lane on round 40, but thankfully, I got outbuff on this guy, and together with the drones, surely we should be able to defend that. Nope. Maybe double discount was too bold. Okay, maybe we just need jungle drums then. With attack speed and everything, that should be enough now. I really needed the shotgun to be able to reach, like, this lane here. Because right now, with all those buffs, it's still not there. And that's precisely why I'm getting cooked. You know what? Frickin' more glaives. That's really not what I want to spend my money on this early on. But it is necessary to make round 40 easier. And that was probably a good first-hand glimpse of why this tower just can't work on multi-lane maps. But good news, more glaives. I think it was a good thing to go for more glaives. It's so good that it can beat all the balloons in the 40s, and we can save it for the Avenger now. This doesn't give you more range, but more power, which, I mean, I don't mind. Now let's go for range buffs with primary training, primary mentoring as well. Damn, even with primary training, it still doesn't reach. One more buff. It's getting closer. I think I just need a tier 4 out buff now. Or Etienne to level up to level 16, I believe. Okay, this is more like it. Don't forget, too, it also has a tiny knockback if I got mob, so it's a little bit of a utility. Maybe we can save for Desert Phantom now. To me, it doesn't feel like the Avenger is too bad of a mid-game carry, although I am saying that with three massive range buffs in hand, so take that all with a grain of salt. And I think also due to the fact that Etienne, his weakest part is the early game, so he's not going to really help your, like, main DPS tower very much in the 30s and 40s, which is probably why we struggled so much, which, compounded. And maybe even made it seem like the tier 3 was worse than it should be, I don't know. Okay, still gotta lock in because multi-Moabs is hard for it to keep up with a knockback utility. Hell, a UCAF this round doesn't even survive it, which is kind of crazy to think about it. Probably just bad angle. If it's chasing, then that makes it a lot worse. We have to use both of Etienne's abilities, then that's fine. 65 is a really long round, so we can get the entire cooldown of both things back up for the end here. Easy. And we're only 6k off at this point, so it should be easy to afford. And yep, there it is. Desert Phantom secured. Now that we got Desert Phantom, let me specify again how exactly that shrapnel works. According to the wiki, the Desert Phantom only creates explosions when something it sets on fire from the shrapnel is popped within exactly 4.55 seconds. Don't ask me why it's so exact like that, but that explosion's pretty, powerful. 5 damage, 5 extra SRAM damage, meaning it's very important to get that explosion off, and that's why every time BFB pops into 4 Moabs, there is a massive chain like that. But you can see why this is an issue, right? If there are only mobs on screen, like the tier list exclamation said earlier, it's not going to create any explosion at all. So you need something to pop down the mob layer in the first place, because I know for a fact that this thing has pretty much negative bad damage, negative single target. So my thinking is I should probably pair this with another high single target damage tower. I guess Etienne isn't too bad at that with his drones and maybe the UCAV. Let me just buy the mid very early in advance and also get some more reliable stall. Well, I can't fit a glue here. I can fit a glue up here though, which is probably almost just as good. We're also 1 level away from getting the 20% range bonus, so yeah, that should be the final max range we get for him this run. Just take a look over here, level 16 Etienne, and that, my friends, is a decently big shotgun range. I forgot, how strong is the pistol? Enough to do 200 DPS. I mean, okay, it's something at least. I ain't complaining. But right now, it's just here for the knockback, and boom, one shot the insides. It's not gonna do that as much for around 81, I don't think. Super SRAMs mean there are less balloons to set on fire, and thus less chain explosions, but it should still be doing a solid amount in the early 80s at least. I expect this to start falling off in the 90s. Maybe by then I'll supplement it with the Call to Arms and or an Overclock. Not meant to be a super buffing showcase, or rather a 2 mega pops, where you want to make that tower as strong as possible. I think if I really want to secure a W, a nice spike factory in the back would be good. In fact, let's do that right now. The range of the village is so good that I think I can get it discounted and give it smart spikes to be able to reach, no, okay, sadly it doesn't reach that bottom lane. But I guess what I could do is I can do an out buff on it, and smart spike should be able to reach, okay, it does reach now, nice. So I do smart and then 302, and then that will evenly distribute the spikes here, well, for the most part. Apparently, someone has corrected me in that how Smart Spikes works is it isn't 50-50 if there's 2 lanes. It's whatever's closer to the exit. So that's why it did a burst of a bunch of spikes on the top side at the start of 85, which I suppose is better than it being 50-50 IDK. But that's some good backup, and not too expensive, so I can still afford all the attack speed buffs I need. It's Desert Phantoming time. 91 has a decent amount of density. This tower, again, performs better when there is more balloons in around, so I expect 98 to be very, very satisfying. Rounds that are semi or less dense, like 92. Oof, that's not a good look. I'll use a UCAV here. Might as well blow my level 20. Well, that sucked. How about we just use the drones, and there we go. The issue is that, yeah, with overclock, you don't have full uptime, so don't want to get caught with your pants down in the 25% downtime. That thus making the Desert Phantom a lot weaker. Hopefully all I have to add from here is single target, so I'm not going to spend anything else to buff Desperado the rest of the way. This is already a decent amount of buffs as it stands. Use a CTA to end this round here, but the damage single target is so low that we don't even kill before the ability times out. That's fine. It actually helps in our favor because we stall the called arms long enough to be able to use it for DDTs here. So use it now. Oof, that fell behind really quickly. I think I gotta... Maybe better put on strong and then, I don't know. It can naturally clean up ceramics just from shrapnel flying everywhere. And this should be a first try. Shouldn't be a surprise again with all these buffs I'm giving it. 10,000 years later, 97 is finished, and here is 98. I pretty much have every ability at the ready. If I use both Overclock and Called Arms now, I'm probably dead to 99, so maybe I'll save my Perma UCAP for that round. Let's wait a little bit longer for more balloons to get in range, and here's Called Arms. DPS, I don't know, it's inconsistent, but it's holding its own right now with all those attack speed buffs. Again, keep it on strong, just so it shoots down, the Shrapnel shoots down a straighter line. And let some of the cerams get into the spike pile. And pretty clean 96, 98, I would say. Unsurprisingly, I told you it would be easy. Now, for round 100, I'm just going to preemptively buy 1 Spike Storm. And I don't even know if UCAV will save me here. The utility just isn't strong enough. Again? Nope. I knew this was going to be a problem. Alright, at this point, it would seem even more time just to redo 98 again, and pre-buy a Spike Storm so I have the ability to instantly beat 99. Time Machine, do be like that. Now, using it now does mean that I don't have it for round 100, and also I got Overclock up this time, so maybe just a change of timing is enough. And holy crap, I legit actually still die with the Spike Storm. That's kind of sad. It's because it wasn't evenly distributing the stuff. Let's set this guy in strong for a knockback on the DDTs, and that's a lot better. Okay, we did save the Called Arms at least for around 100, but let's see how much we need first off. Before buying anything else, use this. And let's wait for Spike Storm to be up. Use this now. This does about 6,000 damage. I can't see how damaged that bad is because there's too many explosions in the way, but okay, it popped, good. But I think I need just a little bit more utility to finish it off. Or do we have enough attack speed with the Overclock? With UCAP too. Oh, nice. We don't have to add anything else, that's cool. So overall, what do I think? Is the Desperado or Desert Phantom really a C- tower? Again, I may not be the best one to judge because this is ultimately not the hardest map in the game. But just like a lot of things, it's situational. I definitely think it's much higher than C- on an easier map, so if you're not playing on like Bloody Puddles, then yeah. I don't think it's that bad, but if you get to, once again, maps harder than Mesa, I can completely understand that. Thanks for watching. Click here if you want to watch more videos, and that's all for me today. Goodbye.